Hello, my name's Jenna. Today we're going to be doing a beginner's Pilates class. All you're going to need for this class is your mat and a cushion or a towel. We're going to begin prone on our mat, okay? And what I want you to do is fold a little cushion or a towel in half and bring it to the very front of your pelvis. Okay, you want it to be sitting in underneath your pelvic girdle, okay, or in between your hip bones here. So bringing yourself all the way down onto the mat and place your little towel or whatever underneath your hips. Okay, from here we're going to put our arms in a kind of E position, lengthen out the back of our neck and release any tension from your bum. Okay, you want to press down into the cushion, okay, and then make sure that you have a nice flat back. So you want to make sure that your tailbone is lengthening away from the crown of your head. Okay, try not to lift your bum up for this one. You want to be pushing your hips into the floor. So from here, take an inhale. On your next exhale, I want you to float your head, neck and shoulders off the floor and bring it down. Okay, use your forearms to press into the floor and lift up. Make sure that you have a good core connection and lower down. Inhale and exhale, lift. And we're going to be here for 5 breaths. Okay, once you've done your 5 breaths, just take yourself down onto the mat and just have a little rest here. From here, you're going to roll onto your side, bend your knees in, and then we're going to roll over onto our back. So lengthen the arm out on the floor and roll over. Okay. Find your base position. If you need to take your little towel or cushion under your head, feel free to do so. Okay, if it makes it more comfortable for you. But from here, we're going to lie back into our rest position and just find that pelvic neutral here. So you want to find that pelvic neutral. Once you find that, I want you to think about your core connection. So imagine that you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans that have just come out of the wash or the dryer, or you can think about stopping the flow of water from your body. Either or, not both. Okay, from here, we're going to think about our core connection, and then as you exhale, I want you to float whichever leg you feel like up into a tabletop position, which means the angle in between the back of your knee and your thigh doesn't change. From here, we're just going to hold. Inhale and exhale, and replace that foot back down on the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift. Keep your breath going. And then from here, we're going to replace that foot back down on the floor. Okay, so you can walk your feet out to as wide as your mat and then just drop the knees to one side. Bring them back to the middle and then over to the other side. Okay, from here, we're going to take our legs over to the side, bend them in, push yourself up into a kind of half-seated position. But from here, we want to take ourselves into our setup for the side bend. So You want to make sure that your hips are stacked, your knees and your ankles. Okay, your ankles are going to be in line with your hips for this one, and your elbow is going to be in line with your shoulder. You want to push the floor away so you've got a little bit more space in between your lowest rib and the floor. Okay, from here, with your hand on your hip, we're going to think about our core connection. Okay, pushing the floor away before we do any movement. Inhale, on your next exhale, lift it up and down. Lift up and down. Try not to lean forward as you do this. Imagine the hip is on a hook and you're lifting it towards the ceiling. That's it. So we're using protective breath, so I want you to exhale on the effort. And we're going to bring ourselves down, push yourself up into sitting, and then lift the arm up overhead. Bring your hand down to the floor, and take it over to the other side. So from here, we're going to set ourselves up here as well. So I want you to have your elbow directly underneath your shoulder, and your forearm on the floor. Ankles, knees and hips are stacked. Your focus is forward. Press the floor away. You don't want to sink down into this one. Think about your core connection here. Lift it up and away. And then on your next exhale, we're going to lift up and down. Up and down. Okay, let's aim for 5 breaths here. Follow the pattern of your breath each time. And last one. This is a strength move. You're definitely going to feel this in your shoulders, so give yourself a little hug or roll your shoulders out. Okay, from here, just going to take a little bend over to the side and then in the opposite direction. So, while we're here, we're going to bring ourselves up into a seated position. Okay, what I want you to do is, without bringing your legs too close in, I want them to be quite far away from you, but the soles of your feet are going to be together. Okay, I want you to find those bony bits underneath your bum here, so kind of rock side to side. And then I want you to think about lifting up and away from the floor. Okay. If you're ready and you find this comfortable position here, so we're just trying to take the hip flexors out of this movement just a little bit. I want you to cross your arms over your chest and inhale, and on your next exhale, you're just going to twist towards the corner of the room. Make sure that you're leading this movement with your rib. Exhale, bring it away. Inhale, bring it back. Or this time you could try inhale, bringing yourself away. Exhale, bring it back. And relax it down. Okay, from here we're going to bring ourselves down onto the floor. So, using your arms, release yourself down. And we're going to find that nice supine position. From here, find your neutral. Okay, and then from here I want you to lift one leg up into tabletop. And then we're going to tap it down to the floor. And bring it back down to the floor. Find your neutral, make sure that you've got that core connection, and that other leg up and we're going to tap it down 5 times. So make sure that you're keeping the angle in behind your knee the same each time. And release your foot down, walk your feet out, and then just let them flop to one side and then the other. That's it. So from here we're going to roll over onto our side and bring ourselves up into an all fours position. Okay, so from here you want to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips. So we're going to go for a box swimming. We're going to do closed chains. So what that means is you're keeping that connection with the floor. Okay, I want you to walk your hands out a little bit further so we can open out our chest a little bit more. Okay, from here, I want you to create that core connection. Make sure that you've got a nice neutral back. Imagine that your head is pushing into the back or into somebody's hand. So you have a nice straight spine. And then from here, I want you to slide your fingertips and your toes on the floor. So the challenge here is with that transition from one side to the other. Exhale, move your hands away. Inhale, bring them back. Or if you want to focus on that transition, you might think about inhale, bringing the hands and legs away. Exhale, bring them back. Okay, we're going to do one more each side. Bring yourself down. Just take a little stretch here. And roll up. So from here, we're going to bring ourselves back down onto the mat for our shoulder bridge. This is mainly a mobility move, so bring yourself onto your elbows, then walk yourself down onto your forearms and then to the floor. So find the length in the back of your head, or in the back of your neck, sorry. And then from here, I want you to think about pressing your low back into the floor, just creating a little imprint and then lifting away. As you press down, I want you to think about lengthening that neck away. Press down, lengthen and spiral ribs in together. And then from here we're going to lift up. We're just traveling to the base of our shoulder blades. I want you to think about each vertebrae lifting one at a time, like a string of pearls from the mat. And back down. If you're feeling this in your hamstrings, try and squeeze your bum cheeks a little bit more. Okay. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale to return. And release it down. Bring one leg into your chest and just give it a wee squeeze. And then we'll go to the other side. And from here, go roll over onto our side and then onto your belly. So from here, I want you to bring your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And what I want you to do is find the length in the back of your neck and try and tuck your tailbone in underneath you. This will lift your belly button naturally away from the floor. So you're trying to maintain that training position in your pelvis. And then from here, we're going to push up onto our knees. And we're just going to hold. So you might need to adjust where your elbows are to make it a little bit more comfortable. But find your breath and just hold. Your back is going to be nice and flat. Your head is going to be on the stick of your spine. And release it down. Okay, from here, just take a full body stretch. From here, what we're going to do is bring ourselves down onto our mat again, and we're going to go for one leg circle. So what I want you to do is find your neutral or your training position again, and then from here we're going to lift that leg up, and I want you to bring your fingertips onto your knees. And then I want you to draw a tiny little circle in one direction, keeping the hips nice and stable. If you're feeling brave, take it out to the side a little bit more. And then reverse the direction of the circle. And release it down. Okay, from here, find your connection again. Make sure that your pelvis is in that nice neutral training position. And then from here, we're going to float the leg up into tabletop. And then bring one hand on top and circle in one direction. And release it, bring it the other direction. And then from here, we're going to replace that leg back on the floor. Take your legs out into a long position, and then we're just going to have a full body stretch here. You can let the ribs hang out if you want. From here, bend one leg in and roll over to your side, bringing yourself up into seated.